Good morning, Staten Island, and a very happy Tuesday, June 11th to all of you. Hope everything's going all right for you and your family and friends are staying safe during some very uncertain times, challenging times, but things are getting better. Happy phase one for those who didn't tune in on Tuesday. Monday, we hit phase one. Very exciting to see a lot of businesses start to open and get ready for this. I hate it, but I'm going to say it, the new norm. By the way, my name is Todd Bavona from Gotham Trinity Productions. Michael Graziuso working hard behind the scenes, punching a bunch of buttons. He's like the robot inside of a copier or printer that makes everything happen. He's the man. I don't even know what that came from. Anyway, so this is SIEDC Live. I am the digital media ambassador who's taken on this awesome task, really, with Jacqueline Teschetti, who's going to be joining us. She's the director of marketing and outreach for the SIEDC. And each show, every Tuesday and Thursday at 9:30 a.m., we like to go over the key points from the SIEDC and what their staff and, of course, Cesar Claro, President and CEO, are going over when it comes to the small business community on Staten Island. And there's a lot to go through. And initially, I'd say through the month of April, especially when we heard things like PPP loans and we heard things about grants and things about retaining employees and employees going on unemployment, keeping your IT systems safe. We've covered so many topics. This has been very informative, whether or not you're an SIEDC member. And SIEDC, in fact, extended an olive branch to those who are not members to utilize the resources that the SIEDC has. And we're going to continue that today. And today we're actually going to be joined by Gail Castellan. Gail is she's from the Richmond County Savings Bank. She's the Senior Vice President, Regional Executive, and that is a member of the NYCB. So she's going to provide her insight with banking. Now, I know that's going to be big. That has a lot of implications for personal, professional, if you own a business or not. So I think that she's going to provide us with some, hopefully some sound advice, but also a general overview of the situation of banking and whatnot and how things have been going for the past few months. So it should be good. And Gotham Trinity has been very proud to be a part of these live broadcasts. There's been a lot going on for us, which we've been blessed and grateful for. And yeah, so that's my spiel. That's my shtick. Let's bring on Jacqueline Teschetti, once again, the Director of Marketing and Outreach for the SIEDC, and a plethora of information. Good morning, Jacqueline.
Good morning, Todd. Nice to see you again. Thank you for doing this for us.
This has been great. This has been great for us as a business. This has been very eye-opening for us to see the amount of people who are so receptive to this and appreciative of this. So again, Jacqueline, great to be a part. So Jack, as always, you're on calls, Zoom meetings and whatnot, but that's coming to an end soon for your SIEDC staff. Is that correct?
Yes, so we are officially a part of phase two. So we will be going back to the office, hopefully within the next few weeks. We've come up with a plan to return to the office in shifts. So we'll be kind of like an A and B team coming into the office. Certain staffers there, on designated days of the week and others on the alternative days of the week. But we will be there 5 days a week, open office, available to take any inquiries from the community. But as we've discussed previously on the shows, we've really been working pretty seamlessly from home, but of course we're excited to get back into the office and come up with a new sense of normalcy for operations moving forward. But first and foremost, what we're looking forward to is our upcoming events. We are very hopeful to still be facilitating these events in one capacity or another. We're most looking forward to our golf events because those seem to be the easiest to facilitate given the new guidelines, but we are very hopeful to be holding mixers and conferences and all of that as well. So there'll be a lot of planning coming from the SIEDC office in the upcoming weeks.
And so just for our billions of viewers at home who are watching here, the reason why Jacqueline looks like she's stuck in 1996 dial-up internet from AOL is because of her team on SIEDC is constantly hitting her with questions from the small business community. So the bandwidth, it just can't take the amount of time Cesar Claro messages poor Jacqueline Teschetti. So that's why she's so busy. She's barely has time to breathe every day. So That's why she might look like a little bit Mr. Roboto. Anyway, moving on. We want to talk about masks. There was a great distribution of masks from our friends at the SIDC that took place at Chocolatier, not far from the SIDC offices. Jack, you want to dive into that a little bit?
So the SIEDC was awarded 40,000 masks to distribute throughout the business community. It's actually still going on currently. So we have had some designated pickup points, but if you are a local business in need of masks, we do have a resource available to you. If Mike could put it in the comments, if they could reach out to Jay Anderson at jay@siedc.org. Jay can facilitate either a pickup date for you to grab some masks for your employees, or we can facilitate a drop-off at your office if it's possible. So again, that's jay@siedc.org. And there are those 40,000 masks available for pickup.
And that is very useful. And we talked about this on Tuesday. As these phases are happening or are coming up, right? All the businesses need to be ready. And that means whether that's putting a little kick plate to open doors with your foot, that means having Clorox wipes at specific locations, increasing the amount of hand sanitizer that you have, mandating masks, mandating gloves. And I think masks is a great part of that, as a huge part of that, obviously, in order to reopen. The government mandates is that. So I think that's very valuable for small businesses in order to save a buck, right, Jacqueline? Because it's been tough for businesses. So I think that's a great thing that you guys are providing. Moving on. The Ppp webinar. I said this Tuesday. I thought I'd never have to say PPP again until I have my first kid, whenever that may be. God help me. But the Ppp webinar. Talk about that, will you?
So the SIEDC will be facilitating a webinar on June 18th at 10 a.m. via Zoom. And 3 of our board members will be available to answer questions about the Paycheck Protection Program forgiveness. There are a lot of intricacies involved to make sure that you receive full forgiveness of that loan. So if you are interested in registering for the PPP forgiveness webinar, you can email me directly to get the access link to participate. And if you could put my email in the comments, it's jaclyn@siedc.org.
Excellent. And of course, Jacqueline is full of information. I know that's why. Oh, Mike is furiously typing in the background. I love it. Working hard. Just taking a look at the website. If I could just call back something that we spoke about, that I finally know the name to: Reopening, Rebuilding a Resiliency Program. That booklet is available on siedc.org. I'm throwing a curveball a little bit here, but can you share a little bit about it, Jacqueline, and just what we can expect and parlay that, Jacqueline? And I always ask about this. I just think it's very valuable that people get involved with the surveys. A lot of surveys that went out and the numbers that have come back, Jacqueline.
So on our website, we have 2 things available to you. We have our latest survey, which is available on the homepage, and we've utilized these surveys to collect data from the local business community about immediate needs and how they've been changing throughout the current climate. And then we also have here on the screen our Reopening, Rebuilding, and Resiliency Program booklet, which highlights some of the services that we've provided thus far during the COVID-19 pandemic, and also some of the plans we have for the future. So this booklet is updated weekly with new stats as well as new services that are available. And of course, we are available to you to answer any questions or if you think there's anything missing from this booklet. So again, the latest survey and the Reopening, Rebuilding, and Resiliency Program booklet are both available on the siedc.org homepage.
Excellent. And again, siedc.org has been a plethora of information. So here's just the survey.
So the current...
Go ahead.
So the latest survey is about event suggestions. So as I discussed earlier, we are looking at a new face for our events this year. So we want to make sure that we make them valuable to the business community. We know there are some new things that businesses would like to see. So our current survey available on the website is about getting input from the community about what they would like to see at our upcoming events.
And this is great. And this is, sounding off of who is useful to hear from, who is going to be helpful to you when it comes to dealing with challenging times like this. And I think that's, again, a very valuable tool and a very valuable survey that's going to extrapolate a bunch of great information. By the way, extrapolate is my word of the quarantine, by the way. I don't know why, but sure, it works. Anyway, Jacqueline, did I miss anything that you wanted to discuss this morning?
I think I'm all set.
Covered it all. Once again, Jacqueline, thanks so much for chiming in and for providing more insight. Perhaps we'll bring you back later after we talk with Gail.
Sounds
all right.
good.
So that being said, let's bring on Gail Castellan. Once again, she is the Senior Vice President, Regional Executive, Richmond County Savings Bank, a division of NYCB. Gail, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me. It's great to be here. I think it's a great job that you're doing, and it's wonderful that the SIEDC is doing this for our members. And I also think it's great that we're handing out the masks and all the updates that we're getting from Cesar Claro on pretty much on a daily basis. It's just so informative, and it's great to be a part of the SIEDC and great to be here again with you today. So thank you so much. A little bit about our bank. Richmond County Savings Bank is a division of New York Community Bank. We have 20 convenient branch locations here on Staten Island, and our roots go back to 1886. So we're here for about 134 years serving our community, both personal and commercial accounts. So again, we're very much a part of the community. New York Community Bank, we operate actually in 5 states. We're in, besides New York, we're in New Jersey, we're in Arizona, we're in Ohio, and we are in, what did I leave out? I think I said it all, Florida. So we have 237 branches throughout those 5 states.
How many years? 100 and who?
134 years serving the community and serving the finances of our community, the financial needs of our community. Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a good run. I mean, I'd say that's a pretty fair run. Hey, Mike Bloomfield from Tech Geek wants to chime in and say Gail is the absolute best, and Rita also from NYCB.
Thank you, Mike. We feel the same way about you.
Oh, I wish I could agree with you, but I can't. Anyway, Gail.
We love our community, and we are very, very much a part of our community. The bank serves the communities and is very much a part of the communities that we serve.
This breaking news, Mike Bloomfield calling. He's asking for a deposit of additional $50,000 into his account for the kind words and endorsement that he gave you. So
tell him we'll talk later.
So Gail, you'll get to that once we get off air here. All right. Yes. Gail, let's get into what we've chatted with everyone who's been on this program. Mm-hmm. The transition, the great transition, right? The faucet stops, all in-person activity is pretty much halted, but you need to do business as usual. Why? Because there's a lot of intricacies when it comes to what Jacqueline mentioned earlier, the PPP loans, personal loans, grants, and everything. There's a lot that goes into it, Gail. So talk to me about the transition of when you found out you can't go to work anymore. We got to work from home. What was that like?
Yeah. Well, we are essential. So, kudos to my staff. I have 200 people working the branches in Staten Island, and they came to work every day. We did have teams so that we alternated so that everybody had the opportunity to stay home. But again, we were here for our customers. What we did was we opened up all our drives and we closed the banking floors. And we did that, of course, for the safety of our staff and the safety of our customers. We also, wore masks, gloves, and we also set appointments for those customers who had needs that couldn't be met at the drive. So we set appointments. And of course, they had to wear a mask when they entered the branch. But was it a big transition? Of course. I mean, our customers, they like to come in, they like the personal touch, the personal feeling, and sometimes it's hard to achieve that on the drive. But we also encouraged our customers to utilize all the products we have online, which is online banking, mobile banking, so that they can do all of their banking from the safety of their homes, the safety and comfort of their homes. Also, we were available by phone. Our branches, believe it or not, were busier than ever, busier than before we closed. I guess there was a lot of uncertainty out there, customers concerned in the very beginning, many phone calls, people concerned what's going to happen to their money. I mean, could you imagine if the banks closed? That's
Sure.
why we were essential. We were there for our customers, and we were happy to do it. We know we have to serve our customers.
Gail, can you talk about the difficulties of keeping up with the ever-changing news and the literature? Gail, I don't know if you ever fielded this question, but I'm just curious, all the different information that was being released, if you can, like, how was that being released to you? Is it a mass memo from the banking community, from the banking authority? Was it like just an attached PDF?
Mm-hmm.
Going through all of the language and understanding it and being able to regurgitate what it is that people need to understand. How difficult was that? What was that challenge like? Or maybe it wasn't a challenge at all. This is what you live for.
Yeah, I mean, we had great procedures in place, and we have a top-notch, management staff, upper management, CEO, and they followed all the guidelines, and the communication was just really seamless. I mean, they let us know, we let our teams know, so we were on the ball, and again, I have to kudos to the CEO and to the upper management of New York Community Bank for really handling this situation and very effectively, efficiently, and doing a great job. And I do want to mention the PPP, and something that you said, you never thought you'd mention that again. I mean, we were also up to, our eyeballs in PPP. I almost felt at one time my job became a different job because, all I was doing was servicing my customers with the PPP. And of course, the rules kept changing. And it was a tremendous task. But
Yes.
we made sure that we helped every one of our customers, and we're still taking and accepting applications for the PPP. So if there is
Okay.
anybody that is, looking for a PPP loan, you can certainly give my information out, and I'll be happy to speak with somebody and help them through it. I mean, that was, the government threw out a program, and of course, they kept changing as it went along. But we
Right.
stayed on top of it, and we were really able to come through and help our customers. And I'm so proud of that fact.
Right.
That we
And
did
that's my question. And you're extending kudos to many people. I extend kudos to you for keeping up, because as a general general X taxpayer business owner, it just seemed like information kept changing. Felt like things were being updated. Legislation was being changed. People gave instant feedback to original document A, and then original document B came 36 hours later. So it seemed like you guys were frantic, and I find it, of the essential businesses, especially the month of April, Gail, would you say was that stress? Was April and like early May high stress? What do you think, Gail?
It was high stress, but I have to say that it was a rewarding feeling that we were able to help our business community and to help our business customers. I mean, we had people working round the clock, literally round the clock. I mean it. I'm not just saying it figuratively, 24/7. We had our back office working, going through the applications. We worked weekends. We worked late nights. I had a team working with me, calling our customers. You need this document. You're missing this document. Let's go. Let's get and the customers were so appreciative that we were there on top of it, giving it the personal touch, because our customers only deserve that and better. I mean, they deserve the best. They were looking to us for the help, and we were there to supply it and to give it to them. And again, I thank my team that was hands-on, and I thank upper management and executive management who was really at the forefront of becoming an SBA 7 lender so that we can offer these loans to our customers. Because when this came on, we were not an SBA lender. So we did what we had, and we got the ball rolling, and then we were there for our customers, which is a great feeling, and they certainly deserve it.
Moving forward now, and again, I compliment you for doing what you do for the community and keeping your staff up and running nonstop for, again, I think the end of March, right? April, a little bit of May was really your crunch time. Now let's move the clock forward, Gail. What is now the biggest concern you're seeing for Mike, the business owner, Todd, the business owner? Now moving forward, what's going to change? Is there going to be differences in how you run business in the industry as a whole? Again, a very broad brush question here. Let's move the clock forward. How are things going to change?
Well, for me personally, I love my community and I love this business community, and I'm very involved in the community. I'm very involved in not-for-profits. You know, thanks to executive management who has encouraged me to get involved in the community. I serve on several boards. I serve on the executive board of the JCC. I serve on the St. George Theater board. I serve on an advisory committee for SCORE and the Chamber of Commerce. And of course, I'm very much involved with the Siedc. And I feel that the biggest change and the thing that I miss is really being, you know, in front of our customers and meeting with them and going to events and supporting the not-for-profit. And I think that, I know we say the new norm, and I'm hoping that things really get back to the way they used to be so that we could meet in person with everybody. Of course, I am here. I'm a phone call away. If anybody needs me, everybody has my phone. Everybody has my email address. We answer, my staff, we answer right away. We're not letting COVID get in the way of the service that we're providing to our customers. Will it be the same? Not exactly the same, but I don't think that our service has suffered at all. And I think that now what we're doing is we're preparing to open the banking floors again. We're getting prepared by we already ordered the plexi shields for the platform, so that people can come into the branch, maybe without an appointment. We're just going to get ready to open full service. Luckily for us, we have the plexi already at all of our telestations. That we've always had. So there are protections. They're also called bandit barriers. So that's what we're doing now. We're getting prepared. And of course, we have the gloves, we have the masks, we have the cleansing products, and we have our cleaning service that deep cleans the branches 6 days a week, 6 nights a week. So we're very appreciative, again, to our upper management for ensuring the safety of everybody that works here.
I've been telling people banks were doing social distancing before it was cool. You guys were, you guys had the shields up way before anyone else even thought of it. So, and that's what people are going to need to do. We were at Curtains in Avenel yesterday. We were doing a live show at the Avenel Performing Arts Center, and we were speaking with the manager there, and he says we have to put up plexi in order to serve at the bar. And I said, like a bank, and he says exactly right. Now imagine that that's how your business is run, but think about that lack of interaction in a social setting such as a bar. So this has, that trickle down effect of how it's going to be very, very different, right? So
absolutely.
But even for a bank, as much as you've been having that partition, you still need to modify your practices. And that's why when it was great Jacqueline mentioned the masks. It's great that they're giving them masks because all your employees, I'm sure, right, Gail, going to have masks, going to have gloves when necessary, sanitize as often as possible, and being diligent. How far out are you? Remind me, I'm forgetting at the moment. How far out are you from opening your branch and having business in person once again?
Well, we are working towards that. However, I don't have a hard date yet to share with you. But we are getting ready. And if a customer has to come in for a service that they cannot do on the drive, there is no problem. We will make the appointment. And if the customer themselves does not want to come into the branch because they don't feel comfortable, they can go into the parking lot. My staff will meet them at the parking lot, whatever makes them feel comfortable. But they certainly can come in. We'll make the appointment to accommodate the customer. Service is our business, and service is what we want to give to our customers. It's a priority for us. People deserve it, and we want to give it.
safety first, comfort, whatever
Yes.
it takes. It's pretty clear, Gail, that you and your team are willing to go above and beyond, which again is appreciated. All right, we're about 2 minutes left in the program, Gail. I'm gonna put it on a light note here. I want to know personally, you were home a lot the past 3 months, Gail. What were you doing? I know you're working a lot. I know you're working plenty of hours, but to also relax a little bit and wind down. Were there any shows you were watching, movie you were watching, or walking you were doing? What were you doing to try and compress a little bit?
Well,
You finished, your 37 PPP loans in one day. What were you doing to wind down, Gail?
well, it's very funny that you asked that, because my husband, I'm in the office now, and I've come back. I work in my office. I come back when I can up here, but when I was working from home, and especially while we were doing the PPP loans, my husband said to me, "I saw you more when you worked in the office and you went into the branches than when you were working from home. You're working more from home than I've seen you prior." But taking a nice walk after you log off. Although sometimes you might not want to go out, because I was working till 11 o'clock at night every night. But relaxing. I mean, we watched a lot of Netflix, a lot of stations that we never had. We subscribed to. That was the new norm in the house. And,
Yeah.
and of course, I had my husband, and we would discuss and have a nice time together. And again, really going out, taking a walk, watching TV. That's how I would unwind.
Were you able to be
Sleeping.
were you able to be entertained by your husband and son, who, according to Mike Bloomfield, are amazing musicians? Were they providing in-house entertainment themselves?
Well, they are always providing entertainment to me. My husband sings in the shower. He sings all over the house. And my son, he is very talented. My son is with Blue Oyster Cult. I don't know if you're familiar with that band, Blue Oyster Cult.
Sure.
And he also has a Band Geek show, and he's he has a live show every Sunday at 2:00 from 2 to 4. And every Sunday we're in front of that, computer, in front of the TV. We're ready to watch him. He is extremely talented, and I'm very proud of him, and I'm very proud of my husband. And I'm also very excited that phase 1 started, because my husband owns Castellano's House of Music. So we do have business, and I'm very excited for that as well.
Oh,
We've
that's
also
great.
been trying to service our customers through online. We have music lessons, and we've been doing it online. But it'll be nice when we can, and also, now we're doing curbside, and people can come in the store to pick up things. So it's nice to see that happening. And it's nice to see the traffic out there when I come to work, and
Right?
very excited about all of that.
Oh, beautiful. Oh, what a nice personal note to end this on. Gail, thank you so much for sharing that about your family. I think that's fantastic. And thanks to Mike Bloomfield for pointing out the talents of your husband and son. I think that's fantastic. And I'm glad phase 1 hit for
Thank
him.
you,
And
Mike.
that's great.
Yes.
That's great for him and for your son. And Gail, best of luck the rest of the way at the bank. And again, appreciate what you've been doing for the community, and looking forward to staying in touch. All right.
Thank you so much. This was wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you for
Great
doing
chat.
this, and
Thanks,
thank you for
Gail.
having me. Okay. Take care.
All right, bye now. All right, once again,
Bye-bye.
many thanks to Gail. Once again, that was Gail Castellano. She's the Senior Vice President, Regional Executive for Richmond County Savings Bank, a division of New York Community Bank. And a lot of information there, and I had to ask what it was like dealing with the changes coming constantly from the feds, state, local, whoever was setting this policies forth. Changes constantly. It felt like one thing came out, there'd be feedback, and a new change came 36, 48 hours later. So again, I commend her and her team for that dedication to the local community, because that's what this is about. If we work together and we work diligently, smart, and have patience, I think that was key during the past 3 months, was just have patience. And I know it's tough, but we're going to get through this. And as you can see, the phases are opening. As you can see, her son, her husband's business opening up in phase 1. Great way to end the conversation. So again, thanks to Gail Castellano for joining us today, and to Jacqueline Teschetti for providing some news and insight from the SIEDC. And thank you for watching. This has been great. Every Tuesday and Thursday morning at 9:30 a.m. My name is Todd Bavona for Gotham Trinity Productions. Many thanks to my good buddy and friend, Mike Reziuso, behind the scenes, and Mike Bloomfield for watching. And we appreciate you watching. So stay safe, stay healthy, enjoy yourselves, and we'll talk to you next time.